everybody, and today I'm going to be reviewing Sk8 the Infinity, which is a skateboarding based anime. And if you don't know what anime is, it's a Japanese style cartoon. I'm not a big watcher of anime. I've only seen a few, like One Punch Man, a bit of Dragon Ball Z, but I didn't like it, and I've seen Avatar The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra, but those two are American based animes. But I am an avid skater. I've been skating for most of my life. I started skating properly when I was 7 years old, and I'm 19 now at the time of this recording. I don't know how many years that is, but if you're curious, you can do the maths. And if you do the maths, let me know in the comments. I'm a bit curious, but I'm just lazy, I guess. This show is about a bunch of skaters who go to this underground racing competition where there's only one rule, and that is the first person to make it down the hill wins. But besides that, there's no rules. Like, literally, the skaters can do whatever they want. Like, sometimes they throw grenades, or sometimes they will like jump onto their opponent's board while their opponent is trying to skate, that kind of things. And then the rest of the show is basically just slice of life. You see the characters go to high school, their job, and you see them street skate and go skate some skate parks. Skateboarding being featured in cartoons is nothing new. Shows like The Simpsons and a bunch of others have had skateboarding scenes, but they always seem to get something wrong. Either it's the name of the tricks or the trick animation that they get wrong. But there's one thing they get wrong that they can easily fix, and that's the stance of the character. And your stance is basically just the way you stand on your board. Like, some people push with their right foot and some people push with their left. But the main reason why they get this wrong is because they always want the character that's skating to be facing the camera. And one thing that I like about what they did in Sk8 the Infinity is that they basically ignored the fact that most cartoons like the character to be looking at the camera, and they basically just did it properly. Because there was a scene in the show where the main character Raki, I already say his name, it's a Japanese name, I think, Roki, whatever, one of the main characters was skating down the street, and he did a front side board slide. But he did it on this like pot plant thing, and he's a goofy stanced skater, so his back was to the camera, and that's how it would be like in real life if a skater did a front side board slide. So I like it that they just kept it real and authentic, where they didn't like change the angle just so you can see the character's face. One thing the show did very well is that they had a good balance in between making the skating realistic and making it cartoony. Because when you see skating in cartoons, most time it's super cartoony, which I personally don't mind, because to me it's like, why would I go out of my way to watch a skateboarding cartoon when all the skating's mostly going to be realistic? Then I might as well just watch a normal skate video. But when you do see the cartoony skating in the show, it's mainly around about the times when they're doing the skateboarding race. And one thing I liked about the cartoony skating there is that the tricks that they're doing are real tricks. It wasn't like they just made up a trick just to make the skating extra cartoony. It was like all the tricks they're doing were real tricks that people do in real life. And when you saw most of the realistic skating, it mainly was when they were at skate parks or street skating. One thing the show actually did for me was, there's one episode where Ricky, I can't say his name, the main character, was teaching his friend Longer how to skate. And just watching the episode was very nice and like relaxing. It was like a chilled episode. But that episode actually made me want to go out and skate for myself. Like, after watching the episode, I was like, I need to go skate now. This episode made me hyped to go skate. Because watching it was very real, it was very relatable. Because it wasn't like they were doing super amazing tricks. I was just watching a guy trying to learn how to ollie or trying to learn how to kickflip, that kind of thing. When watching the show, I could tell that someone behind the scenes working on it was an actual skateboarder, because they got the trick animations and the trick names down perfectly. Like, it was done perfectly. And one thing they actually said in the show actually blew my mind, because what they said I actually only learned fairly recently, and that was, so most skaters, like when you're standing on your board like this, they would call it primo. But there's like 3 different types of skating. There's vert skating, which is skating on half. Then there's street skating, and then there's freestyle skating, which is doing spins. And freestylers go on to like stand on their boards like this a lot. And normal skaters will just call this primo. But freestylers call that truck stand. And I only learned that recently. But saying that in the show, like having that extra bit of knowledge, and extra bit of like proper trick names, blew my mind, because I was very impressed that they said that. I'm a huge fan of the medium of animation. I think it's a great way of telling stories. But a lot of the animation that I watch, I find that the people that are making it don't really utilize the medium to their full potential. Like they don't really do crazy, unique angles and that kind of thing. By watching this show, I could tell that people that make anime really utilize the medium to its full potential. Like they'll have crazy unique angles and they'll be creative and that kind of thing. And it's really nice to watch. Even though some of the angles don't really further the story that much, just seeing a different angle makes the visuals much more pleasing to look at. Because before watching this show, I had a conversation with someone that I know who knows a lot about anime, and he explained to me why anime is special. It's mainly because anime has like better stories and that kind of thing. Because when I tell people I like cartoons, they normally give me a weird look. But when you say to people you watch anime, you don't get the same look. And that's mainly because anime stories is much better compared to the Western cartoon stories. And the story in the show was alright. It wasn't like super amazing, but it was a good story for what the show was going for. But one thing I would have liked more in this show is I would have liked it to be a bit more funny. But all of that, it was perfectly good. So that's all I really gotta say about the show. The animation in the show was amazing. Story was decent but good enough for what they were going for. So that's all I gotta say. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. And if you've seen Sk8 the Infinity, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And what do I rate the show from 1 to 10? I'll give the show an 8 out of 10. And if you're a skateboarder watching this video, I have my own skateboard company called Peaches Skateboarding. This is one of the skateboard decks we have made. This graphic is called the Electric Bunny. It looks super sick. So yeah guys, I make these skateboard decks and this is one of our graphics, the Electric Bunny. If you guys want to check out more about my brand and just see some cool skate content, go follow the brand on Instagram. It's at peaches_skate. And we're also on Facebook at Peaches Skateboarding. That's all I gotta say. Peace!